Allan, we have the first Avenger costume here. What went into this, and from head to toe to weathering, all that's included here?
Well, this is everybody's favorite, first Avenger. This is all leather. Again, we stone-washed this. We could really hit this one a lot because it's a very durable suit. The helmet is urethane. That's the part we designed, and the helmets after the first one, we went to resins. But this first one, we had a learning curve. It had to fit snug on the head, so we thought urethane, that's the way to go. Later on, we went to resins, but this first one was urethane.
Now the helmet itself, you were asked to design that for the movie.
Yeah, I was working at George Lucas's ranch. We were in the archives there. We were preserving and reproducing two of the only totally surviving hero stormtrooper costumes worn by Harrison Ford and Luke. Mark Hamill, and I got a call from another film subcontractor. Said, "Hey, we got this deal with Sony. They're piecing it out. We'd like you to do the helmet." I go, "Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, Captain America." I said, "Send me some pictures."
They probably gave you a lot of pictures.
They gave me literally a clip from a comic book. Literally, they said, "Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I know what Captain America looks like." Okay, so we were really left, and that's interesting about film. Again, there's not a direct line that you got one person doing this and this and this like in the old days. Like there's no Edith Head who's sitting at a sewing machine sewing something. Even Edith Head didn't sew her own things. Did back in the day, but later on she had a studio and people working for her, and it's the same thing today. You might get pieces from literally all over the world. Different people doing different projects and stuff, and that's the same on Apocalypse. They had 15,000 people on that film, and people all over the world, people that never even met each other, and beyond that 15,000, there were probably another 60,000 that had a part or did something for the film, and they may not even have known it. They would just subcontract, "Hey, make us this, make us that."
So the one in the movie is the one that you designed?
Yeah, that was the on First Avenger.
Yeah.
Interesting story I learned when I was working at Lucas about the Stormtrooper stuff. Everyone goes, "Oh, what a brilliant design! George created these." No, George didn't create it. Guy in London was working at Pinewood Studios, and they were talking about filming Star Wars, and they were talking about designs and costumes and stuff. And so they needed some armor built for the Stormtroopers. Well, in England, it's all union help. And you've got to use 80% union. You can't do it yourself. You've got to use their guys. And this was back in the 70s, and they literally built their armor out of plaster.
Oh, wow.
And that's how they did for Knights in Armor and stuff, on the BBC. And they're making these plaster, and they go like, "This is totally unusable. We cannot wear these plaster, armor suits. That's not going to work."
Yeah.
So one of the guys working for George says, "Hey, I know a guy who does kit cars, and he's got vacuum form stuff. I wonder if he can do something." So a lady, and her name escapes me, designed the helmets, and he took the design to his friend who was working out of his house, vacuum form. He was making vacuum form dashes for kit cars. And he says, "Hey, can you make me one of these and one of these?" And he showed him the pictures. He goes like, "Yeah." Well, the guy's thinking he's building these for his kids for Halloween. So he makes him one, makes him another. "Oh, these are great." He doesn't hear from him for 2 years. And he comes back and goes, "Hey, can you make me 30 of these and 30 of these?" "Well, I thought those were for your kids." No, we're doing a movie. It's going to be Star Wars. We need all this stuff. "Oh, okay." So he's making this stuff in his house with his vacuum form machine. He leaves one day, leaves the vacuum form machine on. It's got all these styrene scraps, burns the house down to the ground. Oh. And everyone felt really bad. "Oh, we're so sorry you burned your house out of the ground." So they gave him a little corner at Pinewood Studios to finish work. Didn't give him a new house, but they did give him a little place to work, and he finished the project. But so he had no idea that when he made the first two that these were going to be iconic pieces or used for a film, had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's very, very common in film and television.
The stories that we love have a story behind them. Every little piece.
Yeah,
goes behind
yeah. They do. They absolutely do. But this is one of the favorites, and I really liked how it all came together because it made sense. You have real battle strapping in here, things that would be physically used. This is a grenade belt, is what this is. That's why I put grenades on it. People didn't know what these hooks were for. I said on a real suit, that's where you would put your grenades. And this is an ammo pouch that you see him wearing, but you never see him take anything out, so you don't know what it's for. But that would have been for ammo for his 45 or his Thompson that he carries briefly in the movie. So,
which, if he was gonna make his costume out of whatever he had, he would probably use some of these. Yeah, this
is practical. He really gave a nod to the red, white, and blue striping.
Yeah.
Without it making it look corny.
Yeah.
This looks like, oh, this fits together good. And the idea with the helmet was something between a motorcycle helmet and paratrooper helmet.
Oh.
They want something like that, like the old. My impression was like the old aviator World War I helmets that the fighter pilots wore. That's the idea. They wore, I believe it was the Rangers. One of the paratroopers wore similar protective helmets in training, and so those are where all the ideas, because everything has to fit together. That's another thing. It's really amazing that films come together like they do, because you got all these disparate things all over the country, all over the world. Everyone's doing their thing, but it's all going to come together and fit and look like seamless, like it's all done
in the same world.
We're in the same world by the same people, and honestly, a lot of stuff ends up on the cutting room floor that you don't see. Some things are really good that they leave out. Other things are like, I'm glad they left that out. It really comes together at the end, and people don't realize how long it takes to make movies. The 89 Batman movie, 10 years. They started pre-production right after Christopher Reeve's first Superman movie.
Oh, wow.
A decade later, they had the movie.
Oh, wow.
So you're talking about people that spent a decade, other people came and went, but there were some people that worked a decade before that movie ever came out.
Wow.
In one capacity. Another good example was the Superman movie that was never made by Tim Burton. There's a great documentary on that. And that went around for years, and people were hired and people were fired.
That was going to star Nicolas Cage, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. And Bryan Singer, when he did do the Brandon Routh one, he used to talk to him about there'd be disputes about what the costume should look like, stuff, and he'd show him this quick snapshot they did of Nicolas Cage in one of the test Superman suits. Says, you were going to do this.
Oh, yeah.
And he just showed this picture of Nicolas Cage with long hair. and to be honest, that was not going to be, that was just a trial suit. They did that in a hotel room. It was a quick shot. He was actually looking down when they took it. They were just a random shot, and that picture survived.
That's the one.
I've seen the picture in the full-on Nicolas Cage Superman suit, which looked fairly good. And his hair was short, not the long hair. They didn't go with that. They didn't go with the crazy ass. It was a more typical ass. It looked kind of like the '89 Batman suit, only Superman. The same sculpting. Well, Bob Ringwood was the one who did that. Bob Ringwood had always done fabric, soft goods, like Excalibur. Worked on Excalibur. Later worked on Troy. But he had never done a rubber suit, and that's what it was, the Michael Keaton Batman called for. So I had no idea. They were like, how do we do this? And they really learned from scratch making that, and there were a lot of changes. And by the time it got to Clooney, they had really got their process dialed in, and really everybody in the industry learned from that. There was a big learning curve, and a lot of things that they did are still in use today, how they built those costumes, and they've gone to, they're still being used a lot of times in superhero costumes. Although today we are going to lighter weight stuff like the Henry Cavill suit. Although the Ben Affleck Batman suit, he has a muscle suit underneath, a very hefty muscle suit.
Yeah. The
actual costume itself is very lightweight. Oh. It's very thin. It allows you to move much more comfortable for the actor. Literally, I've had the opportunity to look at 2 of the screen used 89 and 92 Batman costumes. That cape, I literally, it would crush you.
It's made out of real...
It's made out of, there were areas of that cape, or I kid you not, were 1/2 inch thick.
Oh, wow.
Latex. That thing, in Japan, when they do the Godzilla suits, they actually string the actor up. His suit is wired to the ceiling like a puppet because it's so heavy.
Oh, wow.
That's what this cape was like. It would crush a person. I can't imagine anybody, because I had heard, they were horrible.
You kind of have to be a superhero in order to lift the actual costume.
Well, he was only on screen for 10 minutes, the entire picture, actually in the entire suit.
Oh, really?
All the rest is stunt guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So very, very little. And I wouldn't want to get him mad at me, but Mr. Downey, he said the first day, I'm gonna wear the suit every day. I'm gonna wear it every day. He wore it one day. And I don't blame him. I've been in that suit, and you couldn't get me. You couldn't pay me to get in that suit.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's imagine getting into a tight Tupperware container, turning
then wearing it all day.
Oh, it's just horrible. You couldn't sit down in it, so the stunt guys had a little A-frame that they would lower them down on a mattress so they could take a break, and someone would come over and squirt water in the mouth, so they could, because it just, now they're wearing more and more like Thor Dark World, they had water jackets underneath, and on these heavy costumes we also wear some type of cooling jacket, because they're just they're horrible.
Oh, wow.
And on set, you can wear the water-cooled jackets, which are really nice. But they weigh 18 pounds because there's 2 gallons of water in them, and they're attached to a cord, which has
cooling you down,
cooling it, circulating the water, keeping it cool. Keeps it very, very cool under those hot lights. Because if you just put this on now, here you would start sweating immediately, and then you get under these really, really hot lights. Then you're doing stunts.
Moving around.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Boy, I tell you, bringing those characters to life through the costumes and stuff. This first Avengers costume just looks amazing, and you do want to strap it on, but you don't understand what comes with that. Allan, these costumes have been amazing. Let's go wrap it up. Tell everybody, how they can learn more. Then also come see these. Let's go wrap it up over where we began.
Sure.
Allan, thanks for the tour. That was awesome. All these items are just such amazing. You get up close, so much detail here at the San Francisco Cartoon Art Museum. This is what we saw today. This is May. What can we see in the future, and is it gonna, how long is it gonna be going until? How can people come and see these things?
Well, the Cartoon Art Museum is located at 781 Beach Street in Ghirardelli Square. Beautiful location. The museum's open every day but Wednesday from 11 to 5 p.m. And this exhibit, the Pantheon of Heroes, is going to be going on at least through October. And we're going to be refreshing it, adding new characters, new heroes every couple of weeks to it. So don't think because you've seen it once that you've seen everything, because we're going to be bringing more, and there'll be something new to see every time you come in.
And some of these items, and you have other items and props that you sell as well, and our viewers can go and order those items as well.
Yes, in fact, we have an online store at Etsy where we have props and costume accessories and stuff. But we also sell to retailers, other like Monsters in Motion, which is monstersinmotion.com. We have a lot of our products on there, and we're going to be selling some stuff here in the gift shop at the museum as well. So, and then there are a lot of other online stores that buy our stuff wholesale and sell it again. So you can find us all over the internet.
Very cool. If you guys want to come see the man, the myth, and the legend, come down here to San Francisco, and then go order some of the props yourself. You're going to be so excited after seeing some of these things. You want to get some of them yourself on the Etsy page or the different ways to distribute these. The Bronze Armory. You're going to want to get some of their products. Allan, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure coming down and actually finding and meeting you.
My pleasure. Thank you.